Hey you all, welcome back to Pearls of Eden. I hope that you all are having a beautiful day. This is part 2 to the word that I gave about the great reversal. I love how the Father continually speaks to us and confirms his word. And one of the ways that he confirmed today was through Genesis chapter 30. And Genesis chapter 30 talks about Jacob and Laban. Now, we know that Laban cheated Jacob in many ways. He deceived him when it came to his daughter. Jacob was the one that wanted to marry Rachel, but instead of getting Rachel on his wedding night, he gave him Leah. But what I've come to tell you is, though you've been cheated, though you've been deceived, though what they meant for evil, God is using it for your good. In this season, there will be vindication. The blessing that you carry, I talked about that also in the video. There's a blessing that you carry. But when people continually dishonor you, when people continually, they see the gift inside of you, but they still want to play games, God will say it's time to come away from a certain location, certain place, certain space, certain people, because the gig is up, right? It's time to go. And I love this because even though Laban tried to deceive Jacob in many ways, it turned out to be a blessing. How do you say he gave him Leah when he really wanted to Rachel? He had to end up working double for his trouble, is what the Lord told me. Double for his trouble. He worked 14 years and he was only supposed to work 7, but he got Leah and Rachel. And how many of you know, because he married Leah, he was able to have all of these children. He became a patriarch, right? These children would bless him and give him a heritage, and he would fulfill the prophecy that God gave through Abraham, that he would be a source of many nations would come through him. Hallelujah. I've come to tell you, what the enemy meant for evil, what he meant for harm, God is going to use it for your good. And this is the key words he continues to give me: the great reversal. Let me read to you from Genesis chapter 30, verse 29. Jacob said to him, "You know how I have worked for you and how your livestock has fared under my care. The little you had before I came has increased." Listen, Jacob takes notice. He said, you had little before I entered the scene, and now you've been blessed. Everything around you is increasing. Where the dry grass was brown, it's turning green. Because I tell you, the carrier, when you carry the presence of God, when you are a chosen one, there's a favor that comes with you. And if you're not careful, where you take that favor, people start thinking they're in right condition with God, right? But in actuality, it's the grace and the favor that is on your life that is causing things to prosper. You ever notice that when you show up to the scene, things come alive, things were dry, things were dead, and now all of a sudden people waking up all around you? Why? Because you carry his presence. And to dishonor a chosen one, to dishonor someone and pretend as though their value means nothing or is insignificant, it's dangerous to deceive, because God is the great justifier. And he is the one that will take what your enemies meant for evil, whether it's family members, whether it's someone you work with, whether it's your boss, whether it's whomever. When you come up against someone that is selected and chosen and handpicked by God, man, you are on dangerous territory, because it's not the person you're fooling with. Now you done picked a battle with God. Now you done messed around and picked a battle with the Most High God. And there's a cost. But I want to tell you that God will even show up in your enemy's dreams and say, you better not touch that one. You better not say a negative word about that one, because if you do, it's going to cost you. You don't believe me? Go to Genesis and read, because that's what he told Laban. He said, you better not say a thing to Jacob. You better not lay a hand on that one, for there will be major consequences if you come up against a chosen one. You all, I'm telling you, it's not a game. There is nothing new under the sun. I'm telling you, if you just want to know what's going to happen next, be a studier of history. Because there's nothing new under the sun. And things tend to show up differently, packaged differently, but it's the same method. It's the same thing if you have eyes to see, right? Let's keep going. The little you had before I came has increased greatly, and the Lord has blessed you wherever I have been. But now when may I do something for my own household? He's saying, can I do something for myself, for my own household, to cause us to be blessed? And he says, what shall I give you? He asks. Don't give me anything, Jacob replied. But if you will do this one thing for me, I will go on tending your flocks and watching over them. Let me go through all your flocks today and remove from them every speckled or spotted sheep, every dark colored lamb, and every spotted or speckled goat. They will be my wages. He's saying, I don't want anything from you. See, the thing about it is, Laban, he had a thing for producing solid colored goats, brown goats, white goats. He didn't really produce a lot of speckled goats. So what Jacob was really asking was fair, and he wasn't trying to get over on him. But let me tell you what Laban will do. He will go and he will take any of the goat or sheep that would, make a speckled produce. What do you call it? A speckled reproduction, and he removed them because he's still playing games. He is still out here trying to be dirty and cheat someone that has brought blessings to his life. Isn't that a shame? Isn't that how so many people do? Even though you brought them blessing, they're still looking for a way to shortchange you. But God sees. And that brings me to my next point, because we are in this season of vindication. It doesn't matter how hell tries to come against you. The gates of hell shall not prevail. It doesn't care how they try to mock, deceive, just lie and come after you in all kinds of directions. The enemy's going to flee today, because we are in the season of of righteousness, an era of truth, where God is reversing all these wicked plans that the enemy had, but it's going to be a blessing for his children, the great reversal. So it says that he agreed. Let it be as you have said. But that same day he removed all the male goats that were streaked or spotted, and all the speckled or spotted female goats, all that had white on them, and all the dark colored lambs, and he placed them in the care of his sons. Then he put a 3-day journey between himself and Jacob, while Jacob continued to tend the rest of Laban's flocks. Jacob, however, took fresh cut branches from poplar, almond, and plane trees and made white stripes on them by peeling the bark and exposing the white inner wood of the branches. Then he placed the peeled branches in all the watering troughs so that they would be directly in front of the flocks when they came to drink. When the flocks were in heat and came to drink, they made it in front of the branches, and they bore young that were streaked or speckled or spotted. Look at God. He gave Jacob divine wisdom, divine strategy. No matter that the enemy tried to cheat him, and he came and he plotted and he schemed and he planned, none of those things would work, because when God is for you, who can be against you? And he will work supernaturally. All of nature, everything will work on your behalf to see that the promise is fulfilled. Hallelujah. Jacob set apart the young of the flock by themselves, but made the rest face the streaked and dark colored animals that belonged to Laban. Thus he made separate flocks for himself and did not put them with Laban's animals. Whenever the stronger females were in heat, Jacob would place the branches in the troughs in front of the animals so they would mate near the branches. But if the animals were weak, he would not place them there. So the weak animals went to Laban and the strong ones to Jacob. My God. In this way, the man grew exceedingly prosperous and came to own large flocks. Listen, he went and he succeeded and he was blessed and he was so prosperous. And this will make Laban's sons, the cousins, everybody about to be mad at Jacob, because despite the plans of the enemy, he succeeds. Despite them throwing him in the pit, despite them coming with all kinds of ways they can cheat and deceive him, here he is still coming out on top. And they begin to hate him. They begin to despise him, even though they recognize that he was the carrier of the blessing. And I'm here to tell you that there is nothing new under the sun. People will hate you because they see that you are the carrier of the blessing. People will hate you because they will plot and scheme against you. And no matter what, somehow you still come out on top. A mark of a chosen one. Pay close attention when you see people constantly throwing their spears, and yet they still come out to live another day. Hallelujah. They're still blessed and prosperous. And so I'm just here to tell you that we are in this season of great reversal, and what they meant for harm is going to turn out for your good, just as it turned out for Jacob. No one can cheat you and deceive you out of the blessing and the promise of God that's on your life, child of God. So be encouraged that what is for you is for you. And listen, they better not put their hand or their mouth on you, because there's a price for touching the anointed of God. And if he got to come to you through a dream, if he got to come to your enemies in their sleep, you better not touch that one. Ain't that what he told Laban? Y'all be good out there. I'll see you later. Bye.